CJ, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, what's that?
I have canned wine.
Oh, God, no.
Yes.
Canned Wine Episode 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the blockbuster. Welcome to the club, 'cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Brian Thornton. All right, so buckle up, people. It's going to be...
You're not even going to give me a chance to say hello or do anything awkward. You're not going to let me talk about the average speed of a European swallow. You're not going to let me do any of that.
Wait, African or European?
I said European.
Josh Burns will not be joining us this episode. It is the two of us, but with a can of wine.
I'm pouring one out for you, homie.
Please don't pour it out. Pour it into your gullet.
Nope,
I don't want you to.
all on my carpet.
Oh, no.
And I'm wearing my luxurious summer robe.
Summer robe.
It's lightweight and breezy and comfy.
Buckle up, listeners, because we're going to be talking a lot about things going on in comic books, but we're going to space in this episode. So get ready.
First and foremost, I would like everybody to know that this canned wine is still the Infinite Monkey Theorem. So
no sponsor of this show,
but it is not, unlike last time, not a Sauvignon Blanc.
I'm sorry, not a what?
Sauvignon Blanc. It
you
is.
Can't say it, can you?
Sauvignon Blanc. What?
Go ahead, carry on.
I've got my Cavassier. It is a red wine. Can says ridiculously good wine in a can. You can drink anywhere. And Infinite Monkey Theorem, I'd like you to know, last time I checked, it's frowned upon to drink wine anywhere.
Yeah, but the thing is,
like I can't drink it at my daycare.
Well, here's the part. If it didn't specifically say in very big letters on the front, red wine, you probably could take this, places.
It does say it, but with a little monkey on the front.
Very large letter font of
red wine.
Monkey. See that.
Red wine.
So listen. All right, listener, let's start this episode off by talking about the world of comics. See what's affecting TV, see what's affecting movies, but most of all, how the hell is it affecting Brian? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
DC Universe, our favorite streaming service.
Woo,
Last
DC.
week, we talked about that they have released Swamp Thing.
Yes.
And this week, they have canceled it.
No.
It's been 1 week. 1 week since you looked at me. And this show is gone. Now, listen. There has been a lot of speculation as to what's going on. A friend of the show, Brian Roman, went on our Facebook page and left us a comment trying to shed a little light onto it. Initially, it was reported that they were supposed to be given a tax credit in order to compensate them for some of the filming costs. However, an update the same day said that the local government there said, nope, that is not what happened. We gave them all the money that we said that we were going to do. It wasn't their budget. So the official word of this right now is creative differences. Now, there's two things that I thought were interesting as I was researching this. This show was initially supposed to be 12 episodes. It was cut down to 10, I believe. And apparently Warner Brothers Media, the company that's now in charge of all this crazy stuff, was not necessarily a big fan of this show and may not have seen the returns that they were expecting when it came to subscribers and dropped it off DC Universe. So it's a shame. A lot of people that I talked to really enjoyed the pilot. Did you get any feedback from people who have seen the show, what they kind of thought about it?
I am hearing nothing but wonderful things about this show so far. It looks great. I'm excited. I just have not gotten a chance to sit down and watch it. I am currently catching up on Black Mirror.
Oh,
yes.
I haven't seen the new season yet.
I haven't watched the new season yet either because I was 3 seasons behind.
So,
you don't want to have a Black Mirror conversation real quick?
I mean,
let's go. Come down this tangent with me.
But
just because Josh isn't here doesn't mean we can't have tangents, CJ.
Okay, go ahead.
Tangents are a way of this show.
Let's talk.
The tangents don't have to go in the show notes, but they're still enjoyable. All right?
Go ahead. But tell me a little bit about your Black Mirror experience.
No, I banged out 3 episodes the other night. And
are you on the time where they switched over to Netflix, or are you still when they were on the it wasn't BBC, whatever channel they were on initially?
I've always I first started watching the show on Netflix, but I watched the first 2 seasons, and
That's
I
when they
think-
were on in the English channels.
yeah, they were
Yes.
it felt very much like a BBC show. And then this season is the 3rd season. I think you can tell it's Netflix because they're getting not British actors. I watched Nosedive, which is the one with Bryce Dallas Howard,
Right. Yes.
where you rate each other's interactions.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, every interaction with you, I'd rate a 5
Oh, with me?
with you.
Wow, you should drink more often because I know that's not normally the case.
And I know you were expecting a 1 because
I was.
my role on this show is to make you feel like crap and get on your nerves. But I'm feeling generous today.
Oh wow, look at that.
5 stars. Anyway, I watched that episode. I watched the episode about the mechanical bees.
Yeah.
And then the last episode that I watched was Playtest. Do you remember Playtest?
Not the. I don't know it by title. I know it by situation.
Okay, so it was the one
Spoiler
about this
alert for-
guy who, you find out like a little bit through that his father had died. He left the house to explore the world, went overseas, was in London, just trying to escape for a while. And his wallet gets stolen. He can't get back home, so he volunteers to get paid to do a playtest.
Oh,
of this,
yes,
like,
yes,
augmented
yes.
reality
The
thing.
video. Yes, the video game one.
The video
Yes.
game with the survival horror.
Yeah.
That was the last episode I watched, and it was like at 11:30 at night. And Cassandra is home, and she watches half of it with me.
Yeah.
And I don't let things like that affect me.
Yeah.
But this episode was really demented in terms of like layer on layer on layer, but B
Mm-hmm.
had like spiders with human faces on it and crap like that. And like, I got to the end of it. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to bed. And Cassandra's like, yeah, sure. Let's just go to bed. Not like we just watched something freaking terrifying for an hour and a half.
Did you watch Shut Up and Dance yet? It's the one right after Playtest.
That's actually the next one. I have not watched it yet.
Buckle up, man. Things are about to get really weird for you. But the one that's
I'm
on.
going to watch it tomorrow.
Oh, dude, it's gonna mess you up real
I'm going
hard.
to try and get through, because I want to watch season 5. We're going to try and get through Black Mirror real quick.
The one after that,
San Juniper?
San Juniper.
I've heard nothing but like amazing things
so
about it.
good. I love that one.
I hear it's the only Black Mirror episode with a happy ending.
Yeah. It's all relative, depending on how you feel about things.
Right.
But yes, but you're about to get into some deep shit on the next one, so enjoy that.
Anyway, so I'm catching up with that, and then
and then,
Swamp Thing,
well, report back
and never Doctor Who. No, I'm joking. I will eventually get to.
I figured eventually is at some point you'll also eventually have kids, and then
I most definitely will never. Probably never finish Deadwood. I'm not gonna lie.
That's all right. I've given up on you watching Deadwood or anything else.
And I'm never going to start Letterkenny. Yeah, and I can say that because Josh is not on the show
here.
this week.
That hurts.
But you know what? He's listening right now, like in his car or something, and he's like screaming because Letterkenny, to be fair, is wonderful according to Josh. I refuse to watch it based on principle.
You know what? Here,
sir.
just while we're doing this, we're on
Screw you and your terrible shows.
I'm just going to let you know this, Brian. You're going to hear a lot more about Letterkenny because Hulu has picked it up to become an original series produced by Hulu.
Oh God, no! Why?
So the Canadian company that was doing it out, Hulu picked
Wait,
it up.
is this in the show notes? I hate
Hulu
you.
picked it up. No.
Oh,
So anyway,
God.
let's do this then, Brian. Let's help you out. Let's get back. Let's get our capes back on. All right.
Bring me back to Cape Talk.
Will you put your cape? Will you put your back cape on? Just
I
give a
have
good
it
little
on.
count? Okay, good.
It's always on.
We got a poster that revealed, and this is real quick, the new costume for Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty. A, that's a colorful fucking poster. And B, hey, we actually have some armor on the Amazonian. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about it? I want your thoughts. How do you feel?
It looks
What are your
like
thoughts?
It really looks like the costume designer was like, "Hey, I got a bunch of leftover parts from the Aquaman one. Should we just give it to her?" Yeah, sure. I mean, it's fine.
It's based on a comic book costume.
But it looks like something Lady Gaga would wear.
It does. It is based
I don't know
on
if that's a
comic
good thing or a
costume.
bad thing. It just does.
I'm pretty good at it.
I mean, listen. Honestly, though, and to be fair, oh god,
To be fair.
so
You're
sorry.
welcome, Josh. I hate that show.
Based
Based on principle.
it's a costume. It's fine. It does its job of being a costume. I can't hate it. I can't love it. It just is.
It looks odd. It looks odd in the poster that they released. Dude, it feels like her head is kind of removed
But now,
from the rest of her
that's just
body.
bad photoshopping. That's
It's
just
definitely bad photoshopping.
super bad
but
Photoshop.
like
But the costume's fine. It's a costume.
the costume itself is fine, but like I don't know what function it's gonna serve.
I have an idea for that.
What is your idea?
So who is the villain of this episode of this movie?
Cheetah.
Cheetah, right? She's got
Yeah.
claws and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Half of Wonder Woman's old costume was very exposed.
Ah, yes, okay.
So if you're gonna deal with someone who could poison you or put something on the tips of your fingers and scratch you, this has sleeves.
I
an
have a
important
question, CJ.
Answer Daily Double. Doo-doo.
And my question is thus.
Yes.
As we're talking about the Wonder Woman poster,
Mhm.
and I know it's not in the show notes, but I learned recently
Yes.
Warner Brothers / DC Studios is not going to be at Comic-Con.
Yes, I read that.
And Marvel's not going to be at Comic-Con
Correct.
because D23 is this year.
Yes.
What the hell am I going to see at Comic-Con? Because I'm not going to get a Wonder Woman 84 trailer.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to get like a Black Widow trailer or anything from Marvel.
Nope.
The Game of Thrones that used to be in Hall H every year,
Gone.
Game of Thrones has ended.
Yep.
What the hell am I going to go to Hall H for this year?
Listen, Brian. Let's be honest. The Comic Con has been dominated by the big two, right? It's seen Marvel, Disney, and it's seen DC. Just kind of
Give
talk
me
about
hope,
this stuff.
CJ. Tell me why I should invest in
Because
Comic-Con.
now we're
Because
gonna-
it's my Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now we're gonna be able to give the spotlight to other projects and other things that deserve to have the spotlight on them. Maybe even see some original things get the attention that they wouldn't have gotten, things that get swept under the rug. And more attention to these things means more interest. More interest means longer projects, and we may see some more out of the box things. So hopefully we'll.
So you
see
have
something.
no idea what I'm going to see in Hall H. You're just giving me
No.
some hope.
Yeah, and think about this.
You
it's
have
about
failed
time-
miserably.
No, think about this. If all we keep seeing is here's the next movie in this saga, here's the next movie, here's the formula that we've been doing for years, and that's all you keep seeing, it's about time Comic-Con goes back to maybe its roots and shows off comics and original stories. It's just time to do that. It's fine, Brian. Everything will be fine. Don't worry about it.
We'll
Do your
see.
pretty thing. There's going to be great stuff there. Who knows? Nathan Fillion will now be in Hall H talking about more crazy stuff. Isn't that what we want in our
I
life?
do love Nathan Fillion.
There we go. Everyone can rest.
All right,
easy.
I'm good. I'm in.
All right.
All right.
All right. Speaking of the MCU, we got some rumors, some news, and I don't know how confirmed this is, so I'm curious about this. The Fantastic Four apparently is ready to come in to the MCU, and then this is where Josh is now throwing things out of his car window with director Peyton Reed, who you may know from Ant-Man.
This is
And Ant-Man and the Wasp.
This is exactly who you want helming this film. This is exactly what we need.
Sell me, because I'm not sold on it. So
I'm gonna
why?
sell. Oh, I'm gonna sell you. All
Right.
right. This is the guy you want helming a Fantastic Four movie. The reason you want this guy helming a Fantastic Four movie is at the core of it. This family is a family, and it's all about heart and relationship between the four of them, and it's gotta have humor. The Fantastic Four at the very core of it has always had a nice little humor about it. That's why Fan Four Sticks sucked so bad.
It
Was devoid of anything that made these characters lovable. And
Right.
Peyton Reed knows how to direct a movie with heart and humor. You can say whatever you want about those Ant-Man movies. Those scenes between Scott and Cassie are adorable, and
They're
you're bought
great,
in.
yes.
It's funny, and not just because of Paul Rudd. That there's definitely some of Peyton Reed in there because he also helps write those movies.
Okay.
That's what you want in Fantastic Four. I am super excited. 2022 is the year that is supposed to be coming out. So
I guess I'm a little jaded because Edgar Wright was supposed to be doing the original Ant-Man, and they fired him in the middle of the movie. And
they didn't fire him; he left.
All right, so they parted ways due to creative differences. He was politely asked to leave, and he was like, "I want to leave anyway. You can't fire me. I quit."
Edgar Wright's beef is not with Marvel.
Oh yeah, he's
producers.
got no problem with Marvel. They parted ways after everything was done, and they understood why everyone left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why
okay.
you're jaded over it. It's not like they fired him. He chose to leave.
So also, Brian, I want to let you know, a couple people on Twitter, I don't want you to get upset, but someone took it into their hands to do a little bit of a cast this for their Fantastic Four pick.
we already casted this, didn't we?
We did. I'm curious to hear with you if you hear when you hear this list. What do you think about it?
All right.
All right. So Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Mhm.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, I'm on board. That was my pick,
Susan,
right? I did
Susan
that.
Storm, Invisible Woman, Emily Blunt.
Oh my gosh, that's totally like my thing.
Johnny Storm, Human Torch, Taron Egerton.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I forget who I picked, but I'm good with that.
Ben Grimm, The Thing, Terry Crews. The Expendables Terry Crews.
No.
the
I
Expendables Terry Crews.
I know. Here's the thing. I don't agree with that. I'll tell you right now. Why? Do you want to know why, or are we just going through?
No, go ahead.
I love Terry Crews. I think he's great. He's great in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's very funny. I don't think he can play tortured soul. I don't think he's got that in him. At least not yet. I haven't seen anything that has shown me that he can do that. And Ben Grimm is supposed to be this tortured character.
Absolutely.
So like, whereas like I know where you're coming from because like, yeah, he's big, he's beefy. You could probably get away with not doing CGI, do what you did with Michael Chiklis and put like a suit on him.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he can do that. I don't think he can get the tortured part of Ben Grimm down.
3 out of 4 ain't bad, dude. 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Did they cast Dr. Doom, this person who casted all this?
I would know they didn't. They just went just with the.
I heard a rumor that Keanu Reeves. They're talking to Keanu Reeves about being in the
Keanu Reeves and
universe.
everything. You had me at Keanu Reeves. You don't have to.
Keanu Reeves as Dr. Doom would be amazing, wouldn't it?
I don't know. He's too nice. We'll see. He's too nice of a guy.
Yeah, but he could
I would
play
be
a
like,
dick.
yeah, I kind of rooted for Dr. Doom.
He could play a dick real well, though.
He's kind of got a plan. He doesn't seem that crazy to me.
Yeah.
All right.
And I saw him in John Wick. He was great.
We got some more casting. We got some more casting news in regards to the MCU and Marvel shared universe. Listen, if you're not watching The Runaways on Hulu, give it a shot. Just give it a chance. It's not bad. It's not fantastic.
I hear good things.
But it's good. And we got some fun casting news. Elizabeth Hurley will be joining the show.
Nice.
As a villain.
All right.
Morgan Le Fay.
Ooh, Morgan Le Fay, really?
Really?
All right.
So, listen,
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in too.
Let's do it.
First
I'm
off,
always in for Elizabeth Hurley.
Elizabeth Hurley, absolutely. I'm in there. And Runaways is doing something really fun and unique on Hulu. It's a Hulu show where they're really just kind of letting them figure this show out and getting to know some of these characters. This show is not for a lot of people. Josh, don't ever watch this show, please. But they're really kind of letting things play out real well and just the premise is there's a group of teenagers that band together and run away from their homes when they discover that their parents are actually supervillains in disguise. And they're trying to go ahead and atone for their parents' actions. And along the way, they kind of discover a little bit of powers and a little bit of cosmic stuff,
and a little bit about friendship.
A little bit. It's got a lot
isn't that
of
the
coming of
true
age stuff in there.
superpower? Friendship.
Right. And Elizabeth Hurley, this is official from the Marvel Runaways Twitter account, joining it for season 3. So give it a shot on Hulu. I think most of you who are listening to the show will enjoy it. And if you're really not bought in by episode 2, it's fine to bounce out. That's fine. This next topic hurts me a bit to kind of talk about. And I'll be honest, and I haven't even watched the trailer yet because of what's going on. Jessica Jones season 3 got a final trailer and a date announced for when it will be coming onto Netflix. Real hard for me to get excited about this because very much like Swamp Thing, it's already canceled. I like Jessica Jones. I liked the first season a lot. I liked the second season.
Okay.
Okay. Hope it goes out on a good note, but I mean, it's over. It's really hard for me to get invested in the show.
It's so funny because I'm already reading interviews of this show, and it's just like one interview was like out with a whimper, and I'm like, oh no. And then the one review, the headline was like out with a bang, and I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like,
yeah, I unfortunately think that the fact that the show is canceled is tainted the show for a lot of people. I don't think you're going to see many first week watches on Netflix if they ever give a number in their life. I will eventually watch how the MCU on Netflix goes out and where they end it. And they were filming when they got the news that this was, or maybe just wrapped when they got the news that this show was canceled. So I hope they give us a satisfying ending and we don't get a stupid cliffhanger introducing a new character that we're never going to see again.
Like in Daredevil?
Very much like Daredevil. That really hurt. That hurt a lot.
Daredevil season 3 was so good.
So good. It hurts. So
it hurts so
did you watch the
bad.
trailer or no?
I did watch the trailer. I'm excited. It looks good. It looks like they're doing Fool Killer, I think the character's name is.
So if you are if you are one of the people who is interested in catching the final season of Jessica Jones, it will be released in its entirety on Netflix on June 14th. So be sure to check it out. I will be on my way to Florida, so I will be watching it the first 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to turn our attention to the world of TV and movies in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. Listen, I make sure you got your helmets on, right? You got some extra oxygen with you because we're going to space, people. First is a trailer that was released during WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference with Apple. They unveiled a trailer for their original series For All Mankind, premiering on Apple TV Plus. The premise of this kind of starts off really unique. Everyone's gathered around the TV. They are watching the moon landing on television. And as they come down the ladder and the astronauts step foot on the moon, you hear the newscaster say, and the Russians are the first country to touch down on the moon. Cut to, and you see America obviously pretty ticked off about this, watching Russia win the space race. To which now America completely overreacts and says, fine, we're going to the stars. All right, you want to go to the moon? We're doing everything else. So it looks like it's actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie. I'm very intrigued with this alternate kind of reality thing. I believe, Brian, your opinion of it was very similar to something that we have seen on another streaming service as well.
It's Man in the High Castle, but in space. I don't care. I don't care.
Really?
It is, and it's definitely not enough for me to be bought into Apple TV plus.
Now, hold on. I have a question for you. I've got two questions to see if this helps. It is created by Ronald D. Moore, who
did Battlestar Galactica,
Outlander, Star Trek, and Battlestar Galactica. Yes.
Okay.
Is that enough? Is that enough to pull you in? Is that enough to say, hey, that's at least in good hands?
Let's be really honest. I love Battlestar Galactica. I actually am rewatching it right now.
Yes.
Outlander's a piece of garbage.
Okay.
And I've
tried. Everyone gets a dud.
So no, it's not enough. It really isn't.
See, the thing is, let's just say this. Let's just ignore the fact that it's on a streaming service that A, we don't have pricing on yet, and B, we don't know when it's coming. Let's just say this was something that you could just watch. Is this interesting enough for you to just give a little bit of time?
If I didn't have to invest in another streaming service, I absolutely would watch the first episode and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the question to just first, just like, hey, is this something that we could kind of go on? And it stars oh god, what's his name?
Joel Kinnaman.
I always forget that. It stars Joel Kinnaman.
Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman.
We know him from from House of Cards. We know him from Suicide Squad. We know him from
RoboCop and Altered Carbon.
Yeah, he was in that terrible RoboCop movie and Altered Carbon. It's got a few stars attached to it. I'm color me intrigued. And listen, it's on a streaming service. It's a shade of maroon, but also highlights of turquoise.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I will probably end up with Apple TV Plus regardless, but I'm very interested in this trailer. I will say one thing. Can I just real quick side note as a nerd? The space race to me, when you look at the sets of accomplishments, hilarious because Russia was like, we put the first satellite in orbit. Check. All right, we got the first animal out in space. Check. First man. Check. First orbit around the Earth. Check. And America's like, we got to the moon, though. We win. Like, well, I mean, you lost everything. Yeah, but we won because we got to the moon, so it was all good. It's all fine. Like, yeah, but you spent like 3 years making a pen that we just used. It doesn't matter. We got to the moon. We won. So if we lost that, I could totally imagine America just completely overreacting and just going, fine, we're going to move the goalposts again. You figure it out. We're going to get there first. So, interesting. My MK Ultra training is just kicked in for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it most certainly did. I'm sad that Josh is not here because he would have some words to say about that.
All right, Brian, I'm very curious about your opinion for this next trailer. It's Ad Astra, which is Latin for To the Stars, starring none other than Brad Pitt. Walk me through the trailer and your impressions of it.
I actually saw this trailer last night when I saw Dark Phoenix.
The premise of the movie seems to be that Brad Pitt's father, by the way, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, do love me some Tommy Lee.
Is a famed astronaut who was tasked with a top secret mission to go into deep space. They disappeared, presumed dead. Ends up that there was some kind of weapon or something that he was working or researching. Brad Pitt is in space, and the next thing he knows, something called, I think it was called, what was it called? What's the damn...
The Surge.
They call the Surge happened, where basically almost like a mini EMP, things are falling out of the sky. And they're sending Brad Pitt on a mission to find his father's spacecraft and the mission that he was working on and destroy the forces that are threatening Earth. Reminded me a little bit of like a slight Interstellar thing. Like I got just like a vibe. But that could just be me only remembering one space movie.
Very minimum Interstellar stuff. It's like Fallout 3 in space.
That's a damn good analogy.
Yeah.
I approve of that.
That's what I got out of that.
I like the look of this movie so far. I like the feel. Definitely is some kind of I don't know. The sci-fi elements of it look really great. Apparently, this is based off a book, which means I may have to add it to my audiobook list to check it out.
Yeah, I don't read.
So, what do you think? But I mean, honestly, what do you think about this trailer? What do you think about what we're seeing here? Is it because this runs the risk of just being too out there and making no sense, and we're going to end with a movie going, what the fuck was that?
This runs the risk that every space movie runs the risk of. It runs the risk of being so fucking boring. Because I love sci-fi, but when we spend movies in space, it's either really, really interesting, i.e. Interstellar or Apollo 13, or really fucking boring.
I point you to another Tommy Lee Jones movie, Space Cowboys.
Or Gravity. So, like, I don't know. The real question is this.
Yes.
Will you spend 2.5 hours looking at Brad Pitt's beautiful face?
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got Brad Pitt. He's a gorgeous man. I'll look at him for 2.5 hours. Whatever.
But then you also get 30 minutes of Tommy Lee Jones. Like
I get Tommy Lee Jones via a monitor that Brad Pitt gets to watch. So sometimes it's going to be like interchanged with shots of Brad Pitt. So
okay.
I get mean old pug looking guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful, handsome
Not
man.
a pug. Basset Hound, maybe?
Maybe.
A Basset Hound? All right. Beagle? Maybe a Beagle?
Ooh, Beagle. Okay. Anyway.
Tommy Lee Jones is Beagle?
Anyway. I'll give it a shot. It's an A-list movie. It's
very true.
This is my third movie this week movie, you know?
Right. I'm very interested, fans, to hear your listeners. I'm very excited to hear your opinions on For All Mankind and Ad Astra. So be sure to comment on social media or on our website, thatkindernerd.com. Tell me what you think about it. So, Brian.
So, CJ.
We talk about different types of nerds, right? We ask the fundamental question, what kind of nerd are you, right?
Indeed.
There are many types, but there is one category of nerd that I have never fallen into.
Yes, tell me more, CJ.
That is tabletop and card playing game.
Oh, yeah, step into my world, sir.
When I was in the Boy Scouts, when I was like 11 or 13, I had a troop that was obsessed with Magic the Gathering. So Magic the Gathering, never been my thing. But the Russo brothers, the minds behind Captain America Winter Soldier, Avengers Endgame, right? Just to name literally two, are developing a show, an animated series for Magic the Gathering for Netflix.
Yes. Indubitably.
Did Magic the Gathering fall into your nerdom, your fandom?
No.
Okay.
So I will say this. I know plenty of people who play the game. I have played many games like it. I never collected.
There's a lot of lore.
There's a lot of lore behind it. I never collected the cards myself, but there is this whole world, much like World of Warcraft or Lord of the Rings, very fantasy driven. And I think this is a great source material for an animated series that you can just do whatever the F you want on a very small budget and make a 10-episode series about it. I think this is a great idea. And Anthony and Joe Russo have plenty. Forget about Endgame and Infinity War and Captain America. Forget about that. They have plenty of TV experience. They worked on Community. They worked on Arrested Development. Like a lot of really solid TV shows. I'm sure it's gonna be wonderful.
So they're bringing 2 people on to serve as showrunners as well, Brian. People who have a pedigree that you would probably enjoy.
Ooh,
There's Henry Gilroy and Jose Molina.
Jose Molina.
So Henry Gilroy is from Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Ooh, let me sidebar.
Tangent again. Tangent 2.
Let's go down this road. Let's do this. Let's go.
Can of Wine version 2.0, baby.
I have only watched the Clone Wars movie. I've never watched the series.
Oh, that's surprising.
And the funny thing is, I hear really great things about the series, but I hated the movie.
Well,
so the movie was my introduction to the series, so I didn't watch it. But Disney Plus is coming out this year. I think I'm going to make it a priority to watch it.
So Jose Molina, you may know him from The Tick. Which The Tick? I'm looking that up right now.
I was about to say the cartoon or the live action with Patrick
Warburton. The Amazon Prime series. The Tick. He was a producer for that.
Oh, okay. Well, producer, come on, dude.
Hey, I don't know what else he's done, but he was there. Maybe a writer. Now we gotta look it up.
He was on set. He said, "Hey." The Tick should be more blue. Make him bluer.
He wrote one episode and did the story for. He wrote 2 episodes and did the story for 1.
Oh, okay, all right.
He also worked on Agent Carter.
Okay,
and Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh, all right.
Grimm.
You have my attention.
Castle.
I'm feeling like there's a theme here.
Firefly.
I do love me some Firefly.
He wrote 2 episodes. So the guy.
He wrote 2 episodes of Firefly.
He wrote 2 episodes of Firefly.
Sign me the F up.
So
shut up and take my money.
Well, it's Netflix, so, they already got it. All right, listen, before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say real quick that we, listeners, we love your support, and it means the world to us, and it keeps us going every single week. So we would kindly ask that you please share this episode with a friend, especially since Brian is on the canned wine, and these episodes usually are pretty darn hilarious. Also, you may just enjoy some of the topics that we discuss.
Discuss.
There you go.
Love discussing things.
If this is the first time listening to the show, please be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. So thank you. Without further ado, want to move on to our next topic where I go around the internet, I find the weird, I find the obscure, and then normally I ask 2 guys for their tech perspective, but this week it's drunk Brian's getting tech perspective. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
So,
tech
Star Wars.
Perspective!
Okay, there it is. All right.
Tech perspective.
Wow, that was like the best jingle I've ever done for it.
No.
Listeners,
Listeners!
Star Wars Galaxy Edge is now open in California. So, if you're in that area, please go.
I want to go to there.
There are a lot of crazy, fun stories coming out of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. A lot about the food, a lot about the crafts that you can do. But there's one thing that really caught my attention. Yep, there's one thing that caught my attention I had to bring out. Brian, there is a collectible at Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
Okay.
What is the most expensive collectible that you can buy? How much do you think it would cost?
$5,000?
Okay, so the most expensive collectible that you can buy at Star Wars Galaxy Edge will set you back $25,000.
Holy hell!
And that doesn't include shipping. No shipping costs included with that one.
What would you need? What is it? What do we need to ship? Can't I just carry it out? Is it pure unobtainium?
You can get a completely new, life-sized remote control R2-D2.
What?
You can change the colors. You can change the head motions. This is not a toy, okay? This is the same R2-D2 drone that you would see at movies, in the movies, or at Comic-Con. The head moves, the droid beeps, it all lights up. It's as real as it gets. It's really cool, but it costs $25,000.
Who
It's an all aluminum top.
Who is this for?
What are you talking about? Who is this for? First off,
it's not for Jay-Z. I can tell you that much.
There's people. What?
I just thought of an extremely rich person. That was the first person that popped in my brain.
You're just like, who's got to absorb?
When I'm on the red wine, I get a little rap in me. All right.
Jay-Z wouldn't want an R2 unit.
I mean, I don't think Jay-Z needs an R2 unit. He's got plenty. He's got Beyonce.
So Brian, you've also been watching a lot
would never let an R2 unit into that home.
You're right.
Let's be clear. All right.
That's very true. And that's probably where the buck stops in that house.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's also talk though. Brian, you've been doing extensive research on the Droid Depot shop, and they have a lot of fun building custom drones, right? They cost around $100, and they're pretty next level. They're pretty good size things.
I watched a video of this.
Yes,
I watched a video of how you actually assemble a droid, and I gotta tell you, I want to do it so bad.
So let me ask you a question. We just established that a full life size, like basically replica of R2D2, cost $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
So these cost $100. So how big are we talking about?
From what I could tell in the video, I would say it's about like 10 inches high.
All right, so it's about 10 inches high. All right.
Okay, so listen, nerds. All right.
Go ahead.
It depends on the unit, because like I watched a video. I watched like 4 hours of YouTube videos about Galaxy's Edge, and I got
wait a minute. I have a question.
What?
You are way too busy in your life.
I have plenty of time to watch 4 hours of YouTube videos.
You will go down the rabbit hole of someone else building an R2 or a B unit.
You know why? Because I actually care about that. You know what I don't care about? Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who. I don't give a shit about that. Anyway, you get to choose between two different droids that you can build, an R unit or a BB unit. So the size depends on what unit you choose, because BB is smaller than R2 and R4. Let's face it. R is like a trash can. BB is like a soccer ball. All right. So you get to choose which unit you do, and then you pick and customize all sorts of different pieces and stuff. And then you get to a technician, and they're like, all right, let's assemble it. And you actually like drill and fucking like screw shit in. And it's like
you actually have to put it together.
You put it together. Yes. It's like IKEA furniture, but you have someone explaining the instructions to you, except instead of you trying to decipher a picture.
Definitely need that.
And then you activate him, and the head starts turning, and they give you a little remote, and it's like a little RC car. And then like the droids, if you have more than one droid around you, will interact with each other.
Oh,
I know. So let's say, CJ, let's just put it out there. Let's say you and I take a trip. We go down to Galaxy's Edge, and we make droids together. They'll interact with each other, and they'll probably hate each other as much as we do.
Yeah,
so it's fun for $100. Now, there are like other like accessories you can buy, like, ooh, you can add this little nodule onto the front of him, this little knob, and you can buy
tchotchkes. Gotcha.
You can buy like personality chips and change their personality. So let's face it, I'm going to be like an evil droid, and you're probably going to be like a fun-loving resistance droid. That's fine. That's why they hate each other. But you can do so much with it. It looks so cool, and just the experience in general looks like so much fun. It's totally immersive. I highly, highly suggest everybody just hop online, search a YouTube video of Galaxy's Edge, like look at the droid building, the lightsaber builds. It seems like so much fun. I'm totally going to buy a droid and a lightsaber for myself. I'm just putting it out there. Also, I watched a video of the Millennium Falcon ride.
Oh, okay.
Have I told you about this yet?
No, you haven't.
All right. I need you to know how awesome this ride is.
I said it was going to look good from the beginning.
But it's different because it's totally immersive. And it's immersive on a completely different level. So, here's the thing. I'm not even going to go into the fact that the line queue is like a hangar bay, and then you get into a room and you're actually in the Millennium Falcon. And can you play chess on that chessboard? Yes, you fucking can. I'm not even going to get into all of that because, listen, I can only get so erect. But what I will say is this. You put 6 people into a pod, and it legit is the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and each person controls a different part of the ride.
Right, yes.
And the thing is, like, it's completely different from like, oh, the same thing happens on the ride every time, but we're going to pretend you're involved by pushing a button.
Really is interactive.
It's really interactive. One person handles the up and down movement. One person handles the right and left movement. You have people handling like blasters and stuff in the back. and the screens and the fucking the imagery move the way you move. It looks
You actually are controlling this.
You are
yeah.
actually flying the Millennium
Which
Falcon.
is why, isn't the ride like 30 minutes long or something
No,
like that?
that's going to be the next ride that they release. This ride's
okay.
about 10 minutes long.
That's still good.
It's still good. And you actually, CJ,
That's right.
you
Calm
get
down,
to
buddy.
go
I
into
got you.
hyperspace. And you know what you do
Yes.
when you go into hyperspace? You pull a fucking lever and you go into hyperspace. It's so awesome. I need to ride this ride, CJ.
So Brian's
I need
obviously
to.
very.
I am so excited for this.
So Brian's obviously very excited about this. When does this open up down in Disney? Because it's not open right now. It's only open in California.
It's open in California, Disney World, September.
Okay.
I want to say September.
Soonish.
Soon-ish.
Just enough time for me to go down
I'm
there.
just
and
gonna
not have
put
to worry
this
about it.
out there, listeners. Certain nerds' birthdays in September. I'm just gonna
Well,
say.
listeners, it is now time to get your machetes, get everything together, and it's time for us to go exploring the Amazon.
La Savenia, Amazon used to sell books.
Amazon has unveiled its latest Prime Air Drone, which is a hybrid model that borrows from both the helicopter and airplane designs. Like a helicopter, the drone can do vertical takeoff and landings, but it also flies aerodynamically like an airplane, like it tips down and flies that way. It can easily switch between the two modes, and what's great is it's all guarded, so it's all safety conscious, and it's designed to not be very loud.
Listen, CJ, you're using a lot of big words right now, and I'm gonna take that as a sign of offense.
It's an offense. Here's what I want you to think of, ladies and gentlemen. When you buy a typical drone or see someone flying a drone from like Best Buy, it's got the sharp blades around it, right? 4 posts and little legs, and it just comes up off the ground and goes down on the ground, right? And now I want you to think of those really cool freaking like helicopters that also when they have the propellers, but when they land, they turn down like a plane propeller. Basically like this, the way you think that a drone would fly, it doesn't do that. Okay, CJ, why the hell did they make these things? I'm glad you asked, listener, who wasn't actually here, but I am addressing anyway. It is now going to be used to deliver Amazon products in same-day shipping. They've already done
Day?
same-day
Oh,
shipping.
same day. I was like,
Same-day
insane day. What day of the week is
They
that?
have they've already done a couple.
Insane day is probably a Tuesday because
Yeah,
no one would
probably.
expect it.
Yeah. They have already done some test flights in the UK, but the deal is this: they will hold a package that is at least 5 pounds, and it has a time limit, dare I say, of about 30 minutes per trip. So it's only got about an hour flight kind of built into it. They're doing that for safety, and they're doing that for just making sure that the battery and everything works down. It looks really cool. Except that all that makes me think about is Grizzlebox.
Listen, I'm watching this video right now, and the music that they have for it is the most ridiculous piano music I've ever
They're
heard.
just going, please don't be scared of this.
It's just like-
This is a nice thing.
No,
don't be
no,
scared.
The music,
don't be scared.
The music makes me scared because the music's like.
This thing looks like if a spider could just get up
This
and
music
fly.
is like if a spider was following me playing 8 pianos at once. Just.
I don't think that's it at all. But it flies differently than you think it would, doesn't it? It's really agile, but also just like it's in a different angle than you think it would. And it uses the
It's so
like
weird.
yeah, it uses the
But-
protection around the blades as like
why?
wings. Because that's awesome. This is so cool.
Why is
I'm
it
fine
so
with this.
cool?
It looks cool.
It looks weird. I'm scared.
The other part too, this is the part that got me concerned too.
Hold
Is
me, CJ.
I don't want to. When it's descending, what if like you have a dog out in the yard, or I don't know, you're walking around? Apparently it is trained to detect people and animals from above. And here's the best part. It's got all this fun machine, not the best part. Here's something nerdy that I thought was cool. It's got machine learning built onto it that doesn't require any kind of connectivity, so it can make real-time decisions to adjust to changing weather patterns, animals, birds, and also just making sure it can deliver your package safely.
So it's Skynet.
Yeah, it's Skynet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Skynet. Wait till you watch some more Black Mirror.
I'm good. Nope. I'm going to channel my inner Josh. Nope. I don't want this. I don't need this. I am perfectly fine with 2 days shipping.
Well, the company has gotten approval to do test deliveries in the U.S., so whether you're ready for this or not, it's coming. And Brian, I live right by an Amazon fulfillment center. I'm pretty sure these things are going to be flying around my house pretty soon.
Nope. I'm good.
It's happening. Get ready for it.
You do live by an Amazon fulfillment center, don't you?
I really do.
You just go pick your shit up then?
No, but I return things very easily. And then they're going to let you return things to Kohl's, and I live right behind a Kohl's. So
I know.
Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy, listener. Don't do that. Mr. Brian Thornton.
Which Cole CJ lives by. I'm going to wait for him.
I'm back into his house and realize he's got nothing of value, and I'm going to leave.
CJ doesn't leave shirts on the floor like Josh.
CJ will wait 25 minutes for a return. I'm getting my money back, damn it.
Because my $5 is worth 25 minutes of my
Josh
time.
will burn $20 to solve a problem. I'm the guy putting it out going, it's over half the bill. It's still legal tender. So when someone denies me because I have a burnt dollar bill, I'm like, it's still good. Here's the statute. It says it's fine.
I have it laminated in my wallet. Here you go.
Right. I'm like that guy from that Transformers movie who had that.
I think we found a Transformer.
All right, listen, nerds. We also got a special treat for you. Brian and I, actually, this fine evening before Brian had three cans of bottled wine, recorded a spoiler cast for our patrons for the 2019 version of Aladdin. Listeners, I can't stress this enough. We differ on this movie so much. We have never been on this opposite side of opinions before.
Which is layman's terms for saying that CJ is so wrong.
No! You're
and
a nitpicky
as always,
bastard.
I am so right.
No. You're such a nitpicky little jerk who just can't let go of the old cartoon.
The movie was garbage. Spoiler alert.
It's not. The movie was great. Listen, there's no reason to be apprehensive for the Patreon. You need to go ahead and subscribe to this and especially check out this episode. Go to patreon.com/thatkindofnerd. Not only support the show, but get yourself some amazing content. This episode, I'm telling you guys, it's freaking fantastic. I'm very happy to share it with the world.
Are you really? Really?
I am. I think it was great.
You got really frustrated with me.
I was very frustrated with you, but it's a great episode. It's great radio.
I know. It's wonderful. We should disagree more often.
So, listen, nerd, as I said before, do me a favor. Share this episode with a friend because sharing is the ultimate internet currency, and Brian's really hilarious when he's drunk.
I am.
Thank you, listener, you, right now, the one I'm talking to. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you on the next episode.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
Canned wine in a can.
Hey, why are you stretching your legs? I'm the one who's carrying the show.
Oh! Suck a dick.
Ow. So
I'm drinking canned wine to try and make myself more entertaining, okay? I have had a tough week. And you're not carrying the show. I'm doing plenty.
I know you are. You were just gone. I was like, I need to get him back on
dick.
camera.
Why do you hate me so much?
Listeners. May I call you listeners? That's basically that was your tone.
This?
Listeners, can I call you listeners?
Oh, I just chugged half a can of wine. It was delicious, but it burned so bad.